Hey kids, it's Mr. Fly here, hope you're well, and welcome back to the channel folks for a bonus Tuesday vlog. So it's kind of a double bonus today. It's Tuesday the 27th of February when I'm recording this. It's the afternoon. I don't often publish videos on a Tuesday. This year has been a funny old year, or winter I should say, from a riding perspective in the southeast of the UK. Because it's been raining an awful lot. I have whinged about this before, I'm sure, but there's been very few opportunities to go out and ride the bike just for the heck of it. So this afternoon the skies have cleared a bit. Look at this, it's actually quite a nice afternoon. It's a balmy 7 degrees centigrade, so I couldn't help myself but come out for a bit of a ride, and I thought, well, I might as well strap a camera to my head and make a little video, bit of a vlogage. Just because I like doing these videos, really. I don't necessarily get loads of views, but I just like making them. I like the feedback I get from them. It's good to have a chat and sort of bring you up to date with what's going on in my world of motorcycling. So how are you? Have you managed to get out on your bike recently? I hope you have. The weather in this country has been a little bit different north and south. I think it's been a bit dry to the north maybe the last few days, so maybe you've been able to get out if you've had the chance, or at the weekend perhaps. I'm in an unusual place at the moment because if you've watched my channel recently, one of these vlogs before, you'll know that I've had some issues with my right shoulder. I had an operation at the end of November on it, which wasn't successful, and in fact it's now worse now than it's ever been. And I find myself in a situation where I can't really ride a motorcycle longer than about half an hour max, depending on the bike, in a go. So a bit limiting really. So I'm absolutely gutted about it. It's meant that I've had to cancel a few tours that I had planned, including one with fellow YouTuber Wheelie Good Dave from Wheelie Good TV. We were going to go and do a little bit of a ride. Well, actually I won't say where it is because Dave's still going to do it and it'll be coming on his channel as a solo trip, but I was aiming to go with him on that, and that's now not happened, so I'm gutted about that. There was a trip with a couple of mates to Wales at the weekend that I could have gone on. Couldn't do that in the end. All a bit of a pain. And in fact, in my recent trip that I did do to Wales on the GS, you may have seen that recent video where I went to Wales, there was 3 days of riding on that trip, but I actually had to sit out the middle day because my shoulder hurt so much. Anyway, I don't intend this to be a whingy, poor me type video, just stating the fact that I haven't been able to do any long rides or get out that much, but any chance I can get out to ride, then it's a bonus. So this nice weather, having the Enfield as a long-term loan, and it's the perfect bike for this pottering along the lane stuff, then you've got to get out and do it, haven't you? That's what life's all about. Certainly I find, I forget about all my troubles when I come out on the bike on a day like this, so that is excellent. So talking of the Enfield, I got the spanners out over the weekend. I nearly made a video on it actually, but I thought, hang on, I'm not sure there's a whole video in this. But what I did was I took the rear seat off the bike. Something I've been meaning to do for ages. I was a bit concerned because you have to fiddle with I thought you had to fiddle with the rear suspension to take the seat off because it's mounted on the suspension bolts, but a lot of you told me it's actually an easy job. You just got to loosen those rear suspension bolts and another bolt and basically it slips off. So I did that. It was easy, literally 3 bolts. 1 I undid fully, 2 I just loosened. Off came the seat, tightened it back up again, and now I've got a much better looking bike, I think. In fact, I'll just I'll stop up here. I'll show you. Just hang fire a second. Is this a sensible place to stop? Not really, but it'll do to show you. Now, I don't know if you remember what the bike looked like before, when it had the dual seat, but this is it now. Look at that. Rear seat off. Doesn't that look better? I just think it looks, well, proper classic now. It's a classic 350, but I think it looks really, really nice. I've also been riding this a bit in the scuddy weather of late, and I have to say these proper old school mudguards that cover the wheels all the way down really do help keep the bike clean. I thought it would be really covered in scud and crap by now, but actually it's looking pretty good. So yeah, so really pleased with that. I'm not known for my spannering skills. I wonder what's up there. Not known for my spannering skills. So to actually do something that went according to plan was really nice for a change. And as I say, I think it's really improved the looks of the bike. I hope you agree. So as well as my shoulder giving me jip, I've also been cut down the last week with a bout of man flu. Thought it might be COVID, but it turns out it wasn't. So that's another reason why I haven't been out and about too much. Feeling much better now though, although it's not entirely cleared. Oh no, look at all this water. Having said the bike stayed remarkably clean, I don't want to make it more dirty than it needs to be. Can't avoid going through some puddles though, can you? Looks like a burst water main or something. Let's go up here. I'm not entirely sure where it goes, but one way to find out. That's the beauty, isn't it, of rides like this when you've got no particular plan. Just go and explore. I mean, I've lived in this area of South Buckinghamshire for 30 odd years, so I'm not pretending I've never been up this road before. I definitely have. I just can't picture in my mind where it comes out, but I'll find out in a minute. So how have I been getting on with the classic 350 then? Well, very well, I have to say. Oh look, there's a white van. Excellent. It's just the perfect bike for this sort of caper, going on a bit of an explore when you're not worried about having massive acceleration, massive top speed and so on, but just going out for the joy of the ride and seeing where you turn up. That's where this bike scores. In the last video I made about this bike, which is a video about the things that I don't like about the machine, I was very much clutching at straws in that video, but the substantive thing that I said I didn't like about the bike was it is a bit lacking in power. I feel I should clarify a bit more what I meant by that, because I got into quite a lot of bit of trouble on that video for various things. But when I said I was disappointed with the power, I mean for a 350. You don't buy this bike because you want a bike that's going to be fast and powerful, of course not, and I never expected that of the machine. But for a 350, I just expect a bit more than the 20 horsepower it gives you. As I say, on rides like this, it matters not one jot, because you never need to be going particularly fast. But if this was your only bike, good, the white van's turning off. If this was your only bike and you need to use it day to day for absolutely everything, you know, going to work, maybe hitting the odd dual carriageway and so on, then the lack of power might be a bit of an issue. Oh, look at this beautiful old village in this blue sky. I'm so pleased I made the decision to come out. Marvellous. So yeah, so when I say disappointed in the lack of power on the bike, I mean given it's 350cc, only puts out about 20 brake horsepower, and it does run out of puff quite quickly. Many people told me, so I've no reason to disbelieve them, that actually the bike is limited, I think, to 73 miles an hour, so you can wind the throttle fully on and pin it all the time, because that's not the limit of what the engine will do. It's just what Royal Enfield have limited it to. I don't know why. Somebody told me, I think it was for the Brazilian bikes, it's limited at 80 or something, so I have no idea what that's about or whether that's true, but it's quite an interesting concept, isn't it? Anyway, so that's what I meant about when I was whinging about the lack of power on the bike. I don't expect it to be powerful, and it's ample for what I'm doing today, which is exactly what this bike is all about. So yeah, loving the Enfield. I thought I would. It's a great bike. I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on the new Triumph 400s. I have been in touch with Triumph, and they tell me as soon as they've got them on the press fleet, I'm towards the top of their list to have a ride on them. And yeah, it'll be very interesting to compare it with this bike. I imagine, because they put out twice the power for a 400, they put out something like 40 brake horsepower, they're going to feel much more sprightly. So they could spell trouble, I think, for bikes like this going forward, but we shall see. I'm guessing, because I haven't ridden them yet. So what else have I been up to? Well, even though I was feeling a bit ill last week, was very lucky, in fact earlier this week, in fact it was only yesterday, to ride the new BMW R129T. I got to be the first member of the public to ride Barnstormer's demo bike. Did that yesterday. Made a first ride review on that, and that is the next video you'll see on the channel on my usual schedule, coming tomorrow, Wednesday. So if you're interested in retro bikes like I am, and you're interested in what the new R129T is like, do hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for tomorrow's video. Why is this car braking downhill? I don't know. Anyway, I should be very interested to see how this video comes out, because another reason for coming out with the camera was as a bit of a test, because I'm trying out a new mic. I'm stuck in neutral. I've got this false neutral issue again. Look. Right, I'm in first now. Man, that's a bit of a hairpin. Cool. Neutral again, look. Blimey. That's interesting. A few people said that they never had problems with false neutrals, and a few people said that they do. So it's obviously only a fault on some of these bikes. I'm not saying it's a fault, but I have to be pretty positive to get it into gear on this particular model. Anyway, where was I? Yes, testing. So yeah, interested to see how this video comes out from a sound point of view, because I'm trying a new microphone, one that I'm hoping will pick up a bit more of the sound of the engine on the bike. So can you hear it a bit more than previously? I don't know. The mic I'm using now is one that I bought from DJI. They make the camera. I'm using an Osmo Action 4 camera, which I bought recently, and yes, I did buy it. I don't get freebies. Not that I'm bitter. Chopsy, are you watching? So yeah, bought this mic on the recommendation actually of Dave from Willy Good TV, who knows a thing or two about cameras and microphones, because his day job is as a professional TV cameraman. And he said, why don't I try this mic, because it's good at picking up a bit more engine noise than the mic that I was using, which was from Rode. Rode makes some great stuff, and the Rode mic I think cost me like 40 quid or something, so not super expensive. And this one, similar cost, may have been, thank you, White Van Man, it might have even been a little bit less, I'm not sure. But anyway, I've not experimented with fiddling with the settings or positioning of the mic, so it might be rubbish. So if the sound quality is poor, I apologise, but I won't find out until I get back home and edit this video, which I'm going to have to do hastily, because I want to put it up as like a little bonus video, and I want to publish it tonight if I can, just because I think sometimes it's quite good to be, well, I say topical. It's not like I'm talking about world events here, but I am bringing you up to date with what's going on in my world. Oh, road ahead closed. Never a good sign. You never know though, do you, when you see these road ahead closed signs, which actual road they mean and how closed you're talking. Is it properly impassable, or could you get a motorbike through? Is it down here in 200 yards, or is it down here in a mile? I shall find out. Been past here many times on the channel before. This is at RAF High Wycombe at a place called Knapp Hill, or Walter's Ash actually. We've got these replica fiberglass Spitfire and Hurricane out the front. They look splendid. We do like to hark back to our past here in Blighty. Apologies for saying Blighty. I had a message from somebody the other day that said they were unsubscribing because they're fed up with me saying Environs and Blighty. So I don't know why I apologise, because of course that person's unsubscribed, so I won't be watching now. So yeah, there's any words that I say that particularly upset you. Let's not get into the Hey Kids thing, I've already covered that. I have small print at the start of the video that covers all that caper, alright? But if there's anything else that I'm saying and doing, intrigued to hear it from you. Not saying I'm going to change anything. In fact, I probably won't. But it's quite amusing to hear that sort of feedback. Right, yeah, this definitely is road closed, look. This is something else that annoys people. Right, just divert your eyes for a second, will you? Okay, you can open your eyes now, it's safe. I remember once I went, not that I did that this time, but I once went round a road closed sign. Somebody had a go at me saying that if the road's closed, that's it, you cannot take a vehicle down it. So I absolutely didn't do that then, for sure. Right, that little haphazard route has actually brought me out on this road that takes us down to a place called, can't remember what it's called, Bradenham, that's what it's called. Again, features often on the channel when I do reviews and things, because it's a lovely little bit of twisty road here. Oh, took me hand off the handlebars, something else I'm always getting told off about. And also it's very very picturesque, quintessentially British. In fact, I might pull the bike over up here and take a picture that I can perhaps use as a thumbnail, and you'll see what I mean. Somebody out for a ramble, why not? I'm always moaning that we don't have any good riding roads around where I live, but here I am, look, I'm not like more than about 6 miles from home, if that, and it's absolutely lovely out here. You just got to know where to go, I suppose. The road surfaces themselves are a little bit tricky, and the roads can get busy, but at this particular moment in time on a Tuesday afternoon, it's pretty bloody lovely. Right, coming into Bradenham now. I'm just going to pull the bike. There's a little sort of footpathy bit, which again you probably shouldn't go up on a motorbike, but it's somewhere that's quite good for taking photographs, so I'm just going to take a picture that I might be able to use for the thumbnail for this video. Bear with me. Oh yes, I think this will do. Oh, church, bike in the sunshine. I'll get my camera out, I'll speak to you in a minute. Alright, welcome back. Took a couple of pictures there, I think we'll make potential great thumbnail. And wow, yeah, what a day it's turned out to be. What a bonus, wasn't expecting this today. So what have you been watching on YouTube lately? Got any good recommendations of things to watch? I've got a few favourite things that I watch. Well, I've got loads actually. I'm subscribed to about, I don't know, probably 80 YouTube channels, and I dip in and out of most of them. There's very few that I watch everything on. One or two I do, and they're not all motorcycle related. I watch quite a bit of car related stuff as well. One of my favourites is something called The Late Break Show, which is presented by a guy called Johnny Smith. And something that happened the other day which is really cool for me was that he put a post on YouTube. Actually, he'd stumbled across my video talking about how much I earned or how much YouTube paid me, and he posted up a thing on his channel saying that it was refreshing to see somebody talking frankly about, you know, how much you earn on YouTube. And actually he had a really nice post. You can see he's a professional journalist when you read it. But that was a bit of a thrill for me because I'm a big fan of him, so that was great to see that post. It also introduced quite a few people to my channel. I think just after he put that post up I gained about 80 subscribers, so thank you to Johnny Smith, if indeed you're watching, which I doubt for 1 minute that he is, but it was very nice that he posted that, so that was a bit of a thrill. So yeah, I do enjoy that. And the other car channel that I pretty much watch everything of is Harry's Garage, which I'm sure I've mentioned before, which is another brilliant car related channel. Other stuff I've been enjoying of late is actually my old mate Richie Vida. He did a solo trip to Morocco this year, you know, just on his own, on his Africa Twin. Did a massive stint down through France and Spain in one go to get to the ferry, which was nuts. Didn't fancy that bit. I'm not sure he'll be doing it again. And has then just been riding down through Morocco, Chefchaouen, Fez, and I think he's on about episode 3 or something. They're well worth a watch if you haven't watched those. Those have been really good. I've been enjoying those. And I've been getting more and more into podcasts as well. I've been watching quite a few of those of late. Again, not necessarily motorcycle related, but sort of long form content talking about all sorts of interesting subjects. It's a guy called Lex Fridman, ex-computer scientist, now podcast show host, which I find fascinating. I didn't know anything about him. It was my mate Jez, who lives up here actually in High Wycombe, the guy that does the jingles for my videos. He recommended him to me, and I said I'd never heard of him. So thank you, Jez, for that recommendation. I've found those really interesting. And then one that my kids got me onto, Diary of a CEO. Have you ever watched that? Again, you need a bit of time to watch these things because they go on for a few hours. He has some interesting guests on there. That's presented by one of the hosts of Dragon's Den, Stephen Bartlett. Only a young guy, an entrepreneur, a proper entrepreneur, not one of these YouTubers that say they're an entrepreneur, but he actually does start proper real companies and has made money. His podcast is fascinating. He has some great guests on there, so I'll get sucked into that as well. So if you've got any good recommendations for podcasts along those lines, or other car or bike channels for me to watch, let me know, and I shall report back on a future vlog type video. Anyway, I've been rambling on long enough. I've no idea how long I've been rambling on, but it seems like about 3 minutes, but it's probably about 20, I don't know. And yeah, not much to see here. I'm just trundling back towards High Wycombe now. There's not much scenery to see here. So yeah, I may or may not put this up as a little vlog, a little bonus video outside of my usual Saturday and Wednesday schedule. Stay tuned for that video tomorrow, which is on, as I say, the new BMW R129T, and then the one after that on Saturday is a review of the BMW GS Vario panniers, something that's been asked for quite a lot. So if you're interested in the new GS and the luggage that comes with it, then stay tuned for that coming on Saturday. Alright, I'm going to go home, edit this video, see what the sound came out like, see if I can hear the engine on this bike. Alright, look forward to speaking to you again soon. Until then, this has been the Mr. Flyer. Cheerio.
Hey kids, we're the missing the flyers.
Oh, and I forgot to say, if you fancy more of this sort of rambling rubbish, these sort of vlog type videos, let me know, because these are very easy for me to make, and I can talk for England, as you might have gathered. So let me know if these are of interest, and I'll bring the camera out a bit more when I am just out for my daily rides. Right, speak soon.